Welcome to the Stronger Together podcast brought to you by Sandpoint Strength and Conditioning. Today, I'm lucky to be joined by Jenn Karkoski. Jenn's been here for nearly 10 years, and if we could clone her, we would, because she's always showing up with a huge smile. She's always working hard for the right reasons, and she's always so interested in turning around to help everybody else succeed that it just warms my heart. So, I'm thrilled to have her on the podcast and talk about some of those things. I will warn you, one of our internets was being kind of funky, so we kind of talk over each other a few times, but that's why. So, enjoy. Jenn, good morning.
Good morning.
This is like the normal time. Well, actually, it's an hour after the normal time I see you, so this is kind of like usual.
Yep.
How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. Yeah, real good. So let's start like we always do. Let's start with how you started, which was in like 2016, I think. It was a long time ago now. Almost 10 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A minute.
I think it was that summer. I was kind of just in a weird space with my ex-husband. Our marriage was kind of on a downhill slide, and we just moved up to Sandpoint. We moved from Pre-Show to Sandpoint. I was getting a new job. So it's just like a lot of major changes happening. And I just was kind of the point where I've got 4 kids. So I was like, I need something for me. Like, I need something. So I literally just talked to another person at work, and their wife was doing CrossFit in Coeur d'Alene. And they're like, have you ever thought about it? And I'm like, I don't know. And so then I think I just looked up your number and I called you. Let's try this out. Let's see what happens.
That's awesome.
And
that's awesome.
We got the No Sweat booked, and I think I did my foundations with you, and then into class, and then it just became a part of my life.
You know.
No. Nope, I've done that all on my own.
Good. Yeah, right. No, yeah, that's a good part of that's a good conversation. I'd kind of forgotten about some of your antics that have resulted in a surgery or two. So
they're humbling, that's for sure.
They're good, but I always appreciate like when what you just said about how you got started. Like that's like you're pretty focused and pretty driven. Like I don't feel like you let anything get in. Like once you kind of lock eyes with where you're going, it's like this is happening. So I don't know. Is that true? Do you feel like am I wrong there? Or is that kind of, are you pretty tenacious?
No, that's pretty much it. Once I get my mindset on something, that's pretty much what I'm doing. We were just actually in Montana this weekend for my son's football game, and there was a shirt that we came across. My husband's like, you need to buy that. And it was like, there's a cowgirl on it, and it says, the hell I won't.
That's perfect. That's exactly, yeah, that is like the thought bubble always over your head. If I were to create one. So true. Yeah. That's awesome. Have you always been like that?
I'm pretty stubborn in my ways when it gets to that point. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it takes me a while to get there, but once I do, it's pretty much my driver.
You're so nice. Like you're like, that's so, and I don't mean that as like but there's so like, I feel like the normal avatar of that person is like, I don't know, kind of locked in, screw everybody else. Like just like, I'm only focusing on, and I get that a little bit when I'm really competitive or I'm really focused on a couple things. Like, right, Jen will be like, "What is wrong with you? Like, I can't even talk to you. You're not even here right now." Like, yeah, I know. I'm thinking about this, but you are not. I don't get that feeling from you at all. Like, you're incredibly like, I don't know what the words I'm looking. You're paying attention to other people. Like, you're making sure everybody else is having this like great experience as well. You're not just like stiff arming out of the way to get to where you want to go. Nurturing is the word I was looking for. That's the word. Yeah.
No, I've never really been that way. I mean, I've had a lot of people kind of help me along the way, or I've been in those situations, even when I started at the gym, that there were people there helping me out, and I guess it's just something to pay forward with. I love, 6 a.m. I love the new people we get in there. I love the people who can't feel like they can get over that threshold to the next step. This last go around, I've been kind of on a pretty scaled workout for the last few weeks, and so I've just kind of been watching everybody else and their movements, or another gentleman who's kind of watching his heart rate right now is making sure he wasn't going to have a heart attack on one of the workouts recently. So
Thank you.
yeah.
That's
So no,
good.
but I love it.
Appreciate
Like
that.
that's the part that
Only
comes
happened
with
once.
yeah. It just comes with the
Yeah.
community of it, though. I mean, that's in my eyes, it's what you want. I mean, I'm driven by other people too. I mean,
Yeah.
watching them get to where they want to be, like it's motivating, no matter what level it is.
Yeah. It sounds so obvious, but it's so not the case most of the time. again, to be able to like have the dichotomy of both personally driven, like personally kind of like after the thing, but also willing to quickly turn around and help other people follow the same path. Like that again, it sounds very obvious and romantic
Right.
to hope that everybody's that same way. It's just not. So I just wanted to acknowledge that because it's pretty freaking cool.
I get pretty competitive with myself though, and actually during the open, what I do is like if I want a new pair of running shoes or something, that's my own competitive to myself. So I'm like, hey, if
Yeah.
I can
Uh-huh.
come out here on the top, then that's what I'm ordering at the end of this week. So through the open, I've gotten a lot of new crap for
Nice.
myself.
But that's great. Again, that's that like I've talked about this a ton on this podcast, but like chasing other rabbits gets really overwhelming. Not overwhelming. It just kind of you either run out of rabbits or you just realize you're gonna I don't know. You gotta find a new pool to get into. So the internal intrinsic kind of pushing yourself is that's a I appreciate that for a healthy thing as long as it's you know that can be a whole other conversation as far
Yeah,
as like how that can be
my goodness.
detrimental because it's just it also never ends. You're always that voice in your head is always there, or mine is at least.
It's it's funny when I started CrossFit, I couldn't do a push up. My or excuse me, I couldn't do a pull up. My push ups were all wonky. I don't know
Yeah,
if you remember that or not, but you were always like, "What the fuck is wrong with your pull up or your push up?" I'm like, "I don't know. My shoulders don't do that. I don't know.
that
That's
sounds
why
like
I'm
me.
here."
That does sound like something I'd say.
Help me do this right.
No, no, I'll just observe. I'll just tell you what's wrong. I'll tell you you're doing something wrong and let you figure it out. That's why I don't coach anymore. If anybody ever asks, you can tell them what your experience has been.
But yeah, no, it's fun. I love it. It's
What
honestly
were your sports? Go ahead, Jen. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So I did during youth. I did basketball. Volleyball was kind of like my sport. That's what I did. Actually, stuck through with high school. Track, which I like to run. So that's did softball. Did kind of everything. A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And
And to what extent? Like, and where were your favorites and stuff?
so volleyball was always my favorite sport. Basketball got to be not really, but it was in my youth time. So the time I got to high school, just I was just not willing to commit to the team as the coaches wanted it. So I knew I was out on that one. But volleyball was the one I stuck with. And then just after high school, it was I had my first kid pretty young, so went to school and realized really quickly that I did not really know what I was going to do with my adult life yet. So then just kind of stuck with that and just ran some fun runs, ran some more recently I've gotten a little bit more longer runs. I did a half marathon a couple years ago. I did another one with just a group of girls here not too long ago in June, and I've really come to like that a lot on top of CrossFit.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that. Actually, you're the first one I've had on since then, I believe. And I've wanted to have all of you guys on, but I figured that was going to be just way too much of a shit show to try and coordinate. Having too much. so, so I'm going to pick on you guys one by one and ask what that experience was like. So tell me about that because that was pretty
Uh,
serious.
yeah, no, it was a good time. It was I was with a great group of ladies. Like I think I couldn't have asked for a better group of ladies to do that with. And when I loved about it so much is every single one of us had a goal. Like we had over the group, we wanted to finish. I think Sandra had said it. It was my very first time ever doing that. Sandra's done them a few times. So she really just kind of didn't want to come dead last. That was her biggest goal. Like, I don't want the team to come in dead last. But anything after that, I don't care to win. Got it. No
Yep.
injuries,
Okay.
not being dead last. Like, that's
Yep.
all we were really after. But then the closer it got to the race, and actually, like the day before race day, we all kind of sat down and were like, so what do we, like, what is our goal here? What do we all want to do? And every single one of us was just, we want to finish. We don't want to be hurt. And every one of us exceeded what we thought we even would for that. And it was awesome. Just like any other long endurance running. It gets shitty at the end, and then you just got to like dig in deep and finish it. Like there's no end.
Yeah.
That's the only out of it. It's just to get through it. So
Yeah. How long? What was your leg? How long was that?
so my leg turned out to be 13-ish, and that's very on the heavy-ish side, meaning it was like a couple of miles more past that. So I think it actually came out to be like 14 and a half or something like that, 13. And we had to do it with some weight on, so it was good. I do really good up until like every run I've ever done. It's like the last 2-3 miles, my calves go to shit, my whole body hates me. Things get ugly. They just get
Yeah.
ugly. And so
Yeah.
that's about then when you think you're getting closer. Then the best part was I thought it was actually towards the end, and then some people were hiking and they're like, "Oh, you're doing great. You only got like 2 miles left." I'm like, "Fuck you. I don't."
Oh, sweet. Thanks.
Don't tell me.
Is there a bear that could come by and maul me real quick and just put me out of this?
No, it was
How
great,
much
though.
weight did you have on? 15 pounds? Or no, sorry, 25 pounds? Or was it
25
more?
pounds, yeah. Yeah, 25
Yeah.
pounds, and it was,
Yeah.
I think my pack, I had dried beans, sugar, popcorn kernels, I don't know, pretty much anything and everything, I felt like at that point. Rice.
You totally should have attracted some bears that way. That's a good way. That's a great way to bait some bears.
Then there's always that question, would you do it
And
again?
that's not, you're not
Right.
just like, yeah. What's that?
I say everybody always asks, would you do it again? Like right when you finish. I'm like, I can't even feel like the bottom half of my body right now. Like,
Yeah. No.
of course I'd do it again.
I feel like though, would you do it again now? I mean, now we're 3 months post.
I'd do it again.
Yeah.
I'd do it again.
I feel like we have this weird, like, chemical ability to forget. Like, it's so hard, like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I think women have it worse. Like, women have it better and worse than we do. I think you guys have this, like, chemical ability to forget how bad it was to be pregnant. So you do it again. In
100%.
childbirth. Yeah. That's my hypothesis there is like, because otherwise you'd be like, never doing that again. Nope.
When I got pregnant with my second one, my mom was like, why? Like, why would you do this again? It was so bad the first go around. Why do you want to do this again?
What do you mean? It wasn't that bad, right? No, it was good. Yeah. You forget? Yeah.
Yeah, you do. No, but it was amazing.
That's why we only have one. Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. You just got smart.
I had to remind Jen. I said, hey, that was awful. Like, you didn't get out of bed for like 5 months. And then the last 3 months were even worse. You were just uncomfortable and miserable. So, So yeah.
So worth it in the end, though.
Totally. Oh yeah, great. 100%.
But it was a great experience with those ladies. The country out there is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I'd do it again. I think that same group would all do it again, just different legs to experience the different parts of the country that we got to see.
Yeah. And how long did it take you to do your leg?
I did mine in just under 3 hours. I think it was like 2:45 or 55. And it's one of those abilities. See, I've already forgotten until I have to do it again.
Yeah, see? Right. Yeah, and then the first couple miles of that next one, you're like, oh yeah, this. Sweet.
I did Race the Wolf the year prior to that, and that was my first half I've ever done on my own. And that took me about 3 hours and 20 minutes, I want to say. And the last 2 miles of that, I actually biffed it and screwed up my knee pretty well and cut up my hands. And same thing, my calves started to cramp up, and it went to hell really quickly.
Yeah.
Like my whole nervous system was shocked. Like just everything about me just went downhill. And after I got down with that, got recouped from that one, I turned to my husband and I said, I think I'll do the full marathon next year. He's like, how about we try the half again?
Huh. Yeah, what does he have to say about all that? I mean, he's pretty quiet. We've chatted a handful of times, but he's fairly quiet. Like, does he just kind of like nod and smile and say, yeah, okay, sounds good. I know I can help.
The hell
I won't tell you I
won't.
told you so. Yeah. There you go. Okay, good point. Yeah. I forgot about that part. Yeah. He knows what he's into.
It's funny. I'm trying to get him to go to the gym, to our gym now. And he I think he's kind of buying into it now. But when we first met, I told him, I said, this is what I do. This is my jam. This is my circle. It's me. Like, this
You're
is
not
my.
welcome.
Yeah, I did. I did. I told him that exactly what I
Huh?
told him. And so now I'm
Don't
like,
ruin
man,
this for me.
it's like, you need to come. Like, you should start. I starts foundations, whatever. And he's like, I was told day one that is your thing, and I'm not allowed to enter that.
That's
I think you'll try
amazing.
mine now. You're good.
That's so awesome. But I ask couples that all the time. Like I can, and I get such different responses. I'm like, do you guys plan on doing this together? Like, you want to work out together? You want to do foundations together? And sometimes like, yeah, of course. And other times like, no, no, not even, not even a little. We are going to the opposite times. And yeah, so that's the dynamic. That's definitely an interesting thing to pursue or to consider.
I don't think he'd do the six. I think he'd probably pick a different class to go to, and he loves it. He likes everybody in the
Yeah,
6 a.m. class, but yeah, I think he
yeah.
would probably not be in that. Just something on his own
You
time.
know
Still
what
told
I've
told him
found.
that would be good for him.
I'm gonna read into that a little bit just because I think I know what that's coming from, and yeah, that's fair. That's good. But I think that there's something about this especially see is that when the woman is fitter than the man, which is very often the case,
Hmm.
the the male in the relationship has a very challenging time with that. Like that's just not for
Hmm.
whatever that is, it's just kind of like this weird ego thing where they're like, yeah, this isn't for me. Like I'm gonna go back to bench pressing over at the Y, and like
Sure.
that'll be fine. I'm not saying that that's. I don't know how your guys are. I don't know how fit he is or not, but like you've been doing this a while, so I imagine there'll be some skill development that would give you quite a strong upper hand.
Yeah.
But I do see that quite frequently. I see that so many times where guys are like, yeah, no, this is uncomfortable for me. I'm not going to bother to try and push through this. So that's a weird part of this.
He's fit. He always works out. He's not very flexible, and he doesn't want to look silly, I guess would be the word, dumb in front of everybody else. So that's his mindset. That's where it's coming from. But I said you'll be fine.
Ah,
Yeah.
fair.
So we'll
Yeah,
see.
totally. That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a question about back to the ruck race because that thing. So you're not like that's not a stroll in the park. Like are you running? Are you fast walking? Are you doing the like Olympic speed walking thing where you're like hip shuffling?
So on my leg of the race, I it started off downhill, which I was able to run the first 2-3 miles. That was pretty much good steady running. Then I started getting into more of an incline and making my tread up. And so that quickly became a walking scenario. So just like
Mm,
any general rule, your downhill run, if you're uphill, try to walk as fast as you can or the best of your ability on it. The terrain actually was really, really, it was good. It was a little bit, actually, kind of rolled my ankle in the beginning of it. And I think there was another girl too that did that right in the start. I thought, well, this is great. This is how this is going to end. Uh, but I was
you
able
have a
to walk that
unique talent for
off.
getting small injuries. You have a unique talent for getting injuries in the beginning of competitions. Which we'll come back to later, but I have noticed that.
It's still kind of bothering me a little bit, but we're past it. We're whatever. It is what it is. But no, it was
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it's it's not just something you can just like. I think I'm gonna go ahead and run a ruck race today up in the mountains. No, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Like, so running. I mean, I like to run,
Yeah.
so running is always kind of a thing that I do, anyways. And then did a few little hikes. Mickenick, I think, is always a pretty good trail to train on as far as the terrain of that
I
hike.
hate that trail.
Um,
Yeah.
really, my biggest mindset with that whole race was the packs. I've never really raced with any kind of weight on. I don't even like water packs. I don't even like to. I really just rather not have anything like that on me when I'm running.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my biggest mental challenge going into it. I didn't know how well I would do with the pack on. So just around home, I started wearing it. I actually got to the point in the gym where I was wearing my weighted vest quite a bit just to kind of help,
Yeah.
kind of
Yep.
help get a feel for that.
And then what were your longest training hikes or runs or whatever? Like what were your longest preparation events?
So 5 miles is kind of typically what I'd like to do when I'm kind of in that sense, just because I'm really, really good up to about 3 to 4 miles. And then I've noticed then things really do my body starts to talk to me. So it's always been my goal every season now, is just to kind of increase that by a mile and just kind of push my body to start getting comfortable with being a little bit more under there. So
Yeah.
it's slowly but surely it's happening. And then hiking would be, we did one trial hike with the other group too, and I think we only did about 4 miles maybe that day. I could hike more, that's for sure. It's just I'd rather run.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, the time constraints of that, all of it, like the training volume for those longer events is really prohibitive for living your life, in my opinion,
Absolutely.
like doing anything beyond an hour, like
Yeah.
after that hour, an hour and a half, like that's where it's like, ugh, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally get that. But I do wonder if that would help your calves and feet and whatnot on the latter half.
What's
Just
happening there?
public coaching here. Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be beneficial.
Yeah.
And then what about nutrition? What do you do during the race?
Oh, let's see. So my nutrition is pretty much locked in 24/7. I don't stray too far off my nutrition at all. And a lot of that too is I've done 2 nutritional classes with you guys in the late years. I did start getting into some supplements, which is I did start taking like creatine, amino acids, and I've never really been into that up until the last couple of years is when I started to kind of get that. And I've noticed some improvements with that. Other than that, I eat a pretty lean diet. Don't consume a lot of sugar. Race time, it was kind of.
Yeah.
I remember when I did. I actually did another race too with Trina. We did Dig Your Grave, and I was just blown away. At the rest tables, it was like potato chips and gummy bears. I'm like, I don't even eat this on a normal basis, let alone now. So that was kind of interesting when I realized that was a part of racing. Did gummy bears. I don't know. I don't really have anything too specific I do. I just don't ever change anything. It's easier to stick to a routine than it is to change that for me.
So even during the 3 hour, what do you have during the 3 hours while you were out there?
I
During
did
this
really
last one?
electrolyte or something in my water.
Nothing? No sugar? No fuel?
I did have some gummy bears or some gummy
Got
nerds or sour nerds or something like that. I did have some of those in there and a apple sauce pouch. That was about it.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah, that's curious. It's everybody's a little bit different tolerant in what some people, I think they just do the races so they can have like sugar. Like it's like this, like they're like Hansel and Greteling their way around their half marathon, just looking for snacks. And other people are like, no, I'm good.
I like sugar. Don't get me wrong. I'm better off not to eat it. Once I start eating it, it's like it's a kick. I can't get off the addiction. So if I just kind of keep myself off of it as much as I can, it just works out well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's probably the norm, but I have definitely witnessed the endurance group. Like there's this, I don't know, like you said, those tables are full of, I've only done one. I've run one half marathon, so this is all I can speak to it. But like walking, when you go by those tables, you're like, what is this? Like, this is wild. And there's people hanging out, like just eating snacks. And I'm like, are you here to run or have snacks? Like, did you just.
Exactly.
So anyways, but I do think that there's some unhealthiness to that.
I did do gummy bears.
I do think most people, yeah. I mean,
did do that
fueling wise, you're mostly going to be, oh yeah, the race is probably a little different. Like the fueling wise, you're probably going to be mostly burning fat. And so the sugar is just going to be a little bit of the afterburner stuff when you get up high heart rate, but it's just not a sustainable fuel source for very long. So that was my other kind of observation that I'm like, just kind of curious to hear what people do during those long times. So I know when I'm out hunting, that's my like mental, like, okay, cool. I can get over there and I can reward myself with this thing. So I do get that side of it too. So yeah. So I do have to ask about your hip. Let's talk about your hip injury from a couple years ago, because that was a good one. That was one of the ones where I'll never forget. It's like slow motion burned into my brain, and I forget a lot of things, but that I can witness. Like I have that as a screensaver in my brain every time the open starts. Like, oh boy, I know what this is gonna.
Here we
I know how
go.
this is gonna go.
Yeah, so I think it was the open. I was trying to think of it this morning. 21 or 22. I don't know. I just remember it was a complex. It was a certain amount of pull-ups, and then it went to a thruster possibly or a front squat. Then it went back, and anyway, so got back up to I think it was toes to bars when I lost my grip, fell pretty
Took a
hard.
tumble. Yeah. Yep. You
One of the
sure
coaches
did.
at the time was, she's like, just get up, you're fine. I'm like, oh, okay, yep. So I got up, did another toes to bar, and at that point, adrenaline kicked in. So I couldn't. I mean, it hurt, but it wasn't like it. Just like it just fell. So of course it's gonna hurt a little bit. Then I think I went over and did I think it was a front squat, and that's when like life kicked in. It was like, okay, something's not right here. I think I wobbled back to the bar, and Trina was next to me, and Trina goes, "Are you okay?" I said, "I don't think so." She's like,
Yeah.
"No." She goes, "Sit down." Okay.
I seem to
Yeah.
remember I from my vantage point, I think I was like on the east or the west side of the gym, and then I kind of came back onto the wall, and I think I remember you walking back to your square there with the bar, and I remember like there was just a definite hitch in your giddy up on the way back, and I was like, I don't think this is not a walk it off type of a thing.
No, I actually think you told me to lay down. You're just like, quit moving. I'm like, got it.
Yeah, stop,
Yeah.
please
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. Yep. So then I laid there, not feeling too great. And then workout was done. And then, Trina took me to the emergency room. I called my husband and I said, if you can just take the kids to school this morning, I won't be able to do it. And he's like, okay. And then he goes, and then I go after you drop the kids off. If you could just meet me at the emergency room, that would work fantastic.
Oh,
So Trina took me to the emergency room and had an X-ray done. And at first, they just told me I had a elevation fracture, so just had chipped off a little bit of my hip bone. They're like, I was like, okay, walk if you can tolerate it. Just go home, take it easy. And then I actually have a girlfriend who's a physical therapist, so we'd sent her some of my X-rays, and she's like, you might want to have that looked at again. I'm like, okay. So then I went in, had another X-ray, MRI, and CT done, and it actually went down into my hip socket, and I had fractured that, tore my labrum. So then I was put on crutches for a month, not weight bearing, and then they couldn't fix my labrum until the fracture healed. Got pretty lucky. I was told that if it had actually cracked a little bit more, I probably would have had a new hip done. so,
jeez.
so I got pretty lucky.
Yeah.
But it was humbling. I cried the first day, got home, and I couldn't do anything for myself. Nothing. And I sat in that chair or chair at home, and I was a little dramatic, and I was like, I'm never gonna walk again. Like this is how my life is right now. Like, I'm just never gonna. Yeah, that was that experience. And that happened like in March. It was the tail end of the open, I think, or maybe right in the middle of the open.
Yeah.
And then by
I
August,
swear it was the first workout of I swear it was like day one, and workout one, day one, like, oh,
I think
yep,
actually might have been the second
I
one.
forgot about this.
Because Trina and I were texting back and forth once the workout was released. And I do remember one of my last texts to her, and I guarantee you she will remember this. I said, this is how I die.
Yep.
Sure
Yep.
enough. So
Okay.
I'm not allowed to text
Yeah.
her that anymore.
Good call. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good call. You're right. I think, yeah, but I mean, it's the same thing we said before. Like the memory is so easily forgotten,
Right.
and then we do it again. And then
We
every
do.
year I'm like, who's going to fall off the bar this year?
It's funny too. It was one point that bar at the gym. It's the only like at first everybody's like, "Do you even want to like touch that bar?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get up on it again." And then it was the only bar I'd ever used. And then Nick started going like, "You really probably should go to the other bar where your toes really aren't touching the ground." And I'm like, "Well, here's the thing. It's like a security now, and
This
the fall's not so big."
this one's special. Yeah. This is a special bar to me.
It still comes up in class once in a
Yep.
great while.
That was a long journey for you.
It was. It was a really
That was a
long.
long, yeah.
It was like my first major injury I've ever really had too. Um, in my adult life, that is. I think when I was 5, I broke my leg, but other than that, or younger than that. Anyhow, yeah, it was, I think, like that February, March timeframe. And then that following August, I had surgery. And then the recovery on the upside of it. It was about a full good year.
Yeah.
But I fully recovered. I feel like I'm even a little bit stronger now than I was then. And just kind of push forward on it.
Yeah. The other thing too, though, like you never stop coming in. Like and that was again, that's one of those things. Like it's easy to acknowledge for you, but like most people do, like, they whatever
Mm-hmm.
break a nail. That's a little bit. I mean, they stub their toe, whatever. However the hell you want to frame that, I don't care. But it's like I gotta quit. Like, well, do you, or was that just your out? Um,
Yeah, no way. I I always tell people the only way Kenny's getting me on this gym is if he officially tells me I can't accept your membership anymore.
nope, not ever, never happening. Nope,
That's the only way I'm leaving
no
there.
way.
So
Yeah, right. After all the things, like you're always smiling, happy, helping people. Like, what in the hell? Yeah, no way. I mean, if you keep breaking things, if you keep flying off of pull-up bars, we may have a different conversation. Well, I might just have to install padding and mats and like just nerf out a whole section. But I think you've outgrown that part. I think so. I think
I
we're
think
good.
so. My actually, so that orthopedic doctor that did that, I had a shoulder thing too. I had fixed, and my husband's had a few things that he's had fixed, and that orthopedic doctor too. He will never forget. Every time we go in there, he's always just asking me, he goes, "Where are you on your pull ups now? How are they going?" He's like, he'll never ever forget that
Shut up.
himself.
Yeah, sounds right. Sounds right. But yeah,
I
you
think
said
next
something to me
week
the other day about like. Sorry.
I said he ended up giving me the nickname of the pull up queen. That's what he'd call me, and I come in there and goes,
Oh,
"How's the pull
nice,
up queen doing today?"
nice.
Great. What was it the
He's
other
just
thing we were
mad because you
doing
could
again?
do more pull-ups than him.
Yeah.
Well, you just said something. You're like, I just can't. Like, I just like to be in here. Like, even if I can't do anything, like, I just want to
Yeah.
be
Yep.
with this group.
Yep. I think the longest I've been away was during that. I took 1 month off for my hip recovery. Then I think I was back within 2 weeks of that, and then yeah, more recently I had some an elective surgery that took me down for a bit. And on that one, I didn't really tell many people, but like one of the coaches and 2 people at the gym. And so then there were some text messages and questions of why I wasn't there. Hey, this is not your normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard. It's really hard to be away from everybody there. And the gym and the coaches and my family they love me a lot more when I do work out. It's
Right.
mom, go. You need to go.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. And it sounds so weird. I mean, even if you're not, I mean, I've actually seen, people just ride the bike. Like, and that's a fairly,
Mm-hmm.
the 6 a.m. class is pretty big. And so this is going to sound like it's a big, but there's a handful of people that like, it's always almost like one person, like they're just doing something totally different, but they're there to participate and socialize, and sometimes more socialize than participate, but that's okay. And like, but it's so valuable. I say that tongue in cheek, but it is like, I've acknowledged that a handful of times where I think, especially in the wintertime, like you go in and you get your exposure to the people that you like, love, and that like really kind of sets your day off, especially for you 6 a.m. weirdos, sets your day off on the right foot. That
Absolutely.
it's hard to like conceptualize for people where they're like, wait a minute, I thought, CrossFit or whatever you want to call it was this crazy get the hell out of yourself thing. And it can be, but I think more so it's like, I don't know, it's just associating with positive people who are trying to improve their lives. And that means so much more to people than
Absolutely.
they think they think.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's they become family. They really do. A lot of our kids are within the same age group too, and they all play within sports, and so it's just nice. It's just nice to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Especially, yeah, the family thing. I joke
we're
about
all
this.
for a reason at 6 a.m. But we all have the same mindsets.
Yeah,
Right.
totally. Yeah. And there's like a misfit, like acknowledgement of that. Not misfit, but like there are, Ben and Ken Wood, Ben McGrant. Like they're polar opposite. And like Ken's always like, yeah, Ben's trying to dress like me. But it's just like a really funny, like you would look at those two and just it's their approaches to what they're trying to achieve and like
Yeah.
where they're at in it. Like, but they're so I think people would be so intimidated by that kind of a thing. Or they would think that that would be such a disparate set of goals and those people wouldn't be working out together, but they are. And it's hilarious and it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is fun. Kenwood was actually, that was the heart rate I was watching the other day. I was like, okay, well, I'm just sitting here on the bike, so I'll just go ahead and keep an eye on his phone while he's working out for him.
I trained him to do that. It's freaking, that's the best. Like that, watching that tachometer thing, that's a good tool for people to keep themselves out of the, especially with the like the group nature where you're watching everybody else go around. You're like, oh, I should keep up. But if you watch your own little like speedometer, tachometer thing, I think it helps pace a little bit. So yeah, thank you for that. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting. So my resting heart rate typically is like 36 to 40.
Wow.
So you
Is
see all
there
these
you?
I get maybe to 140, 150, if that. 165
Yeah.
might be my highest I've hit. I don't really typically redline a lot naturally.
So, but that's probably your endurance. Like you have a pretty strong endurance foundation,
Hmm.
and that's probably a lot of that, which is great. Like that's a huge. I mean, does your watch beep at you and tell you you're dying or something?
I'm a pretty healthy person individually, but like your annual checkups and stuff like that, the doctors are usually like, "Are you feeling okay today?" I'm like, "I feel great." Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't even be talking to me right now. You should be like laying flat. I'm like, "No, I feel good, feel good."
Yeah.
But no, I mean I don't know. I guess I've always kind of been that way. I'm actually a avid blood donor too, and that is an issue every time I go in to donate blood too. They actually have to have like a little special note in my chart that okays them to be able to to take my blood, but it is what it is.
Well, no, I mean, I find that so ironic. So I had an Apple Watch for a long time, and it would wake me up
Mm-hmm.
because my heart rate got too low. It was like, hey, your heart rate's at 36. Like, are you still alive? Like, just checking in here.
Yeah.
And then like, hold on a second. Like, why am I I don't know. Maybe it was just my weird skewed view of this thing, but I was like, wait a minute. Like, I'm not the problem here because I've got a low resting heart rate when I sleep. Like that's good. Leave me alone. What about the rest of everybody else who's riding
Right.
around at 99 a baseline? Bother them.
Yeah. No, my watch has never alerted me. It tells me to get up and move a lot, but other than that, that's about it.
That's good. Must be a Garmin then. Garmin's, I
It
think,
is.
for more fit people.
Yeah, it's a Garmin.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Apple's trying to keep people alive. Garmin's trying to improve people's fitness. There you have it. If you're listening to this, you wear an Apple Watch. You're just that's your demographic.
Right.
But I do think that there's like what you said about your endurance, like that, the ability to pace and the ability to operate with a lower heart rate is a good. Like that's a great foundation. I think that a lot of people lost that in the late 2010 area, whatever you call that, as the early 2000s. Everybody was all intensity, 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 and they kind of forgot about that endurance background. And so I do think that that's probably serves you quite well in this space where you don't redline all the time and blow up.
Hustle is
So
that's a great class. That's a phenomenal class. I've really come to enjoy Hustle a ton.
yeah,
I really,
good.
really like it too. That's a good Saturday workout.
I think so too. Especially because it's not boring. At least I don't think I've ever done one, which is probably I should. But Saturdays are kind of I'm usually but I see what happens. I know what
Yeah.
goes on. And the long zone 2 stuff makes me want to die. Like I just find that to be so monotonous and boring. I just can't handle it. But that is great. The varied, trying to keep the interest in the mixed modal nature, but
Yeah.
doing the long stuff. That's magic. I love it.
Yeah, that's been helpful in some training
I've
too.
noticed that class is busier.
Yeah,
Yeah, good. Good.
yeah. Pacing's important. That's something I did actually kind of have to figure out when I started doing a little bit more of these races was the pacing because I'd always right out of the gates want to be in the lead a little bit, and then I thought, well, this is going to end really poorly for me. And knowing more now too, like how my body responds after a certain amount of mileage, it's been really helpful to help kind of just
Yeah.
get the pacing behind it, building up more of an endurance. Hustle's helped out with that a lot, I feel like.
Good. Yeah, that's awesome. That's another one of those we're strange human things where everybody out of the start, they all start kind of looking at each other and like, oh wait, we're gonna go, we're gonna run, we're gonna go fast, we're gonna, and then not too far in, everyone's like, oh wait a minute, this was, I should have run my own race here.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, awesome. What anything else you got? We forgot here over your tenure, your almost 10-year tenure here.
I don't think so. It's been thank you. Like thank you tremendously. That place is it's definitely one of the best things that's ever happened to me, and I can't tell you thank you and Jen enough for what you guys have built there, and the coaches and
Well,
it's
thank
amazing.
you. And
And the
I
mentors.
think it's in spite of me, not because of me. So I think that's so. No, thank you. I mean, that's the thing is, it's really because of people like you. I mean, again, you embody the thing. You come in smiling every day, what regardless of what's happening, and that's not to say you have to. Like, if you have stuff going on, I think it's a safe place to come in with whatever the hell's going on in your life. But like, yeah, you do. You come in smiling. You come in positive. You come in to work hard to help out. Like, you're the embodiment of what I love to see in there. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for continuing to come in spite of all my nonsense and whatever whatever foundations I put you through 10 years ago. So
It was good. It was good. It was all positive.
good, except for the push-ups. I think those are
Is
better
it-
now. So
Yeah,
you're welcome.
yeah. I think I got those figured out now though, so we're good.
Good. Yes, agreed. All right, Jen, I'm gonna let you go, and I will see you in the morning.
Sounds good. Have a good day.
All right, you too.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, thank you for listening. As always, if you were so inspired by that episode, or you want to work out with someone like Jen or Jen, shoot me an email, kenny@sandpointstrength.com, and I'll help get you all squared away. Or you can go to sandpointstrength.com and learn about what we have and book yourself a no sweat intro where we'll talk about you, your goals, and how we can help you best achieve them. All right, thanks for listening.